Hello and welcome to day 4. Today is the one that makes people a little uncomfortable because we are talking about finances, about money. And before you tense up or tune out, I want you to stay with me because I promise you what we're doing today is not about budgets and spreadsheets or feeling guilty about where you are now financially. We are going to be talking about your relationship with money, your beliefs around it, the energy you bring to it. And I'm going to give you a bit of a framework as well to actually set a financial goal, just to take the emotion out of it and just have you thinking like, well, it's just a thing that I need. It's just a resource I need to acquire to do the things I really want to do in life. And I need to set a goal around it. So we're going to do that as well. So first of all, we're going to talk about the energetics, the blocks, the relationship with money, and try and dissolve some of those barriers that you might have. And then we're going to just set a really practical goal. And I want you to make it very powerful and very big, a little bit stretchy around your financial future. So starting with your money story. Here's what I know about money. And I've spent a lot of time studying this, both personally and professionally. Every single person has a money story. Somewhere along the way, money became so significant and so important, it consumes vast amount of our time and energy most of the time. And therefore, anything that is that important to the collective, let alone individually, will end up creating a set of beliefs, programs, and emotional responses um, within an individual. They'll form no matter what because it's such a big topic. So it's something that, your parents would have spoken about, your educators would have spoken about, your peers would have spoken about. It's been a constant input from the time you were born. So you almost can't escape this. So first question to ask yourself is what did money mean in your household growing up? So Rhiannon's really good at talking about this from the Ascendancy Collective about the imprint period, years 1 to 7 of our life. And money, as I mentioned, is one of those things you probably didn't escape hearing about. So what did money mean in your household growing up? Was it a source of stress? Was it discussed openly or hushed away and not spoken about? Was there never enough? Was it held on to really tightly? Or was it as soon as it came, it was spent, gone? Was it associated with worth? Like people who had certain jobs and made certain amount of money were worth more than others. And at the same time, people who had too much money were bad people, greedy people. What stories did you hear? So one thing I'd love you to do today is really write that down. What stories did I hear as money? Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. Get a job so that you can make 6 figures. You got to go to uni. All those sorts of things that you heard about money, even if they weren't directly related, but they somehow got there. And also the other thing was whether it was spoken about in your house or not spoken about. It was like almost a shameful thing to speak on. So these early experiences create what many coaches and psychologists even refer to as a money blueprint, a subconscious set of instructions that determines automatically how much money you earn. And also how you spend it, how you save it, how you feel when you have it, how you feel when you don't have it, how you feel when you receive it. That's probably the biggest one, is that block to receivership that I really want to address, because it actually doesn't matter how much you get. If you have the receive issue, you'll either feel shame and get rid of it, or you'll never get it in the first place. And we all need money, right? We just need it. At the end of the day, it's just energy. It has no emotion. We give it all the emotion and we need it. It's just part of our human existence. And the thing is, I would rather that we had more money in the hands of really good people doing good things with it. And also, it is just an amplifier of who you are. Good people with a lot of money will spend it on good things. They don't automatically turn bad just because they have a lot of money. It doesn't work like that. We know this logically. We know, but you might have never thought about it. So that whole fear around rich people being greedy or evil or mean, that's actually what you're actually saying is if I have too much money or if I have a lot of money, I'm also greedy and mean and horrible. It doesn't work like that. It's an amplifier of who you are. So we need to get money into the hands of good people. Second of all, if you are well supported financially, we spoke yesterday about purpose, right? And we spoke on mission and things like that yesterday. If you are well supported financially, not only will it be easier for you to live your mission and help other people, the more supported you are, the more that you'll be able to help others, but also the better product you'll produce. So if we're well supported financially and our energy isn't split between worrying about having enough money and doing a good job, all of our attention goes to doing a good job. So can you afford to have your energy split into thinking about or worrying about money? So allow yourself to be supported. And I appreciate it's easier said than done. That's why we're talking about this today. So um, your blueprint, just going back to your blueprint, that is your subconscious set of rules and operating behaviors and your nervous system and all those things that are like before you're consciously aware of it, created from when you were born, essentially. Has nothing to do with your desire, nothing to do with your effort or your intelligence. Some people are really intelligent and have no money. Some people are barely scraping by in life and have lots of money. It has nothing to do with any of that. It doesn't matter how much you want it. It doesn't matter how much effort you put in. It all comes back to your blueprint. So, like I said, there's some of those really common money stories. And I think the first step to this is really identifying what that is for you. It doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy or selfish. There's never enough. There's never enough money. Money causes problems. Money is evil. I don't deserve to be wealthy. I can't be wealthy. That's only for lucky people. Like they're only rich because they're lucky, you know? So is it selfish to want more than you need? All of those sort of things. What lands for you? And you'll have your own, as I said, you'll hear the common ones and your own. So really understand what they are. Now, when we talk about abundance energetics, I absolutely love talking about this because even myself, up until just a few years ago, until I had my realization, I believed that we create abundance in our lives, including financial abundance. Everyone's always talking about we've got to create abundance. There's courses. We're going to create abundance in your life, financial abundance, love abundance, whatever you need, right? And here is the kicker. Based on everything I just said before, as my evidence, I'm going to tell you we do not create abundance. Abundance is everywhere, always. The universe, the world, Earth is inherently abundant. Look at nature. You can't count the grains of sand, the waves, how many leaves there are. It's just overflowing always, right? Our lives are absolutely abundant in every possible way. Everything we need is right in front of us. We do not create abundance. We create blocks to it. And that's what this is about. We create blocks to it. So all you have to do is identify your blocks and remove them, change them, rewire them, but mostly just take them out. That's not true. Is it true that every rich person is greedy and selfish? No. Is it true that you will become greedy and selfish if you are rich? No. So you need to counteract some of these things. They are blocks to your abundance. So energy is real, right? Physics tells us that every single thing, including our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, carries a frequency, an energetic frequency. And we attract into our lives what we're vibrating at. So if you haven't encountered this before, it might sound a little left field, but just stay with me here because this is science. This is not woo-woo stuff. This is science. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, there's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, the RAS. It's essentially a filter that determines what your brain pays attention to. Out of the millions and bazillions of pieces of information available to it at any given moment, it zones in on like a couple. And here's the fascinating part. Your RAS is tuned to what you believe, to what you focus on. So when we have an energetic signature or a blueprint that says, you know, money's not safe with us or money is bad, then we actually don't notice when money's right here. Or when it is there, we push it away. So if you believe money's scarce, your brain will find evidence of scarcity everywhere. Prices are going up. Everyone's talking about it at the moment. Everything's going more expensive. The bills all come at the same time. All that sort of thing. When I see that happen, I go, oh, interesting. I just need to make more money. I don't like to dwell on, I mean, obviously it makes life harder. I understand that. And also we get to choose where we put our energy. If you see scarcity everywhere, you will find evidence of scarcity everywhere. If you shift to your abundance mindset, your brain starts to notice opportunities. You'll get a new idea. A new connection will come to you. Solutions that you weren't seeing before. The money didn't change, your filter does. So abundance energetics is about intentionally shifting the state that you're in when it comes to money from a fear base essentially into possibility, from scarcity into sufficiency, into abundance. Instead of, oh, I can't afford that. The question is, how can I afford that? And the how can I question is a much bigger one. And I love going into our events because it's so, so powerful. Use the how can I question in all things, not just money. Instead of saying, I can't have that, I can't afford it, I can't do that, how can I? Is a different way to look at it. It's from a possibility lens. And practically what that means is noticing that scarcity language. That, money's tight, I don't have enough, and consciously replacing it with, how can I make that happen? Or at what point can I actually, make that purchase? Or how important is that purchase to me? Maybe I'm choosing to prioritize something else now. Language changes, really important. The next bit is genuinely practicing gratitude for what you already have. Gratitude is the fastest frequency shift available for us from an emotional energetics perspective to increase our emotional state. It's the fastest way to shift that. So be grateful for what you have, like genuinely for what you do have. Celebrate when money comes in, even if it's really small. If I find $2 on the ground, I'm like, woohoo, I made it, jackpot, right? So it's about, again, the gratitude piece, but also letting your body know that it's safe to receive. If you have a program, a blueprint that says money is bad, it's scary, what we do to counteract that is even when teeny tiny amounts come in is we celebrate it and we go, yeah. And so that our body starts to go, okay, it's safe to get money. Your body doesn't know, your nervous system doesn't know the difference between $2 and $2 million. It has no idea. All it knows is that money equals bad or money equals safe. So you've got to teach it money equals safe. And we do that with these really small evidence pieces. So evidence of any abundance actually will help you with this. So anytime you get, maybe you meet a person at a party and they connect you with somebody else that's going to help you in your business. Or maybe, you get some other resource that you need to help you in some way. Like really celebrate it and see it as evidence of abundance being safe. Consciously do that. Store up the stories of possibility and put yourself into environments of people that expand you. So what you might notice in your circle, for example, if you have a money blueprint, it's pretty likely that the people in your family, certainly, but in your friendship group have the same money blueprint. So if you want to be really rich and feel good about it, get into a room with some rich people who are doing some good in the world and feeling really good about the fact that they're rich. Because having the same conversations with the same blueprint is going to be, it's not impossible, it's going to be pretty hard to get out of that energetic state. So put yourself into rooms just like anything. If you want to be, an entrepreneur, have your own business, get into the room with entrepreneurs. If you want to be in a room of people who are happy and joyous, get into a room with people that are already doing things that they love doing. If you are noticing the people in your current circle, it's not that we reject them or say goodbye to them. Sometimes we have to do that, don't get me wrong, but it's just about understanding that your environment is creating your reality or keeping you in a reality, and you get to choose something different. And the fastest way is to move environment and get around people who have what you want. Do not, under any circumstances, take any advice from people who are not where you want to be. And that means relationships, it means work, it means finances, it means just general joy and happiness. Do not take advice about how to be happy in life from people who are miserable. That is the worst possible thing you can do. Get into a room with people who are happy and joyous and ask them how to do it and steal some of their energy. That's the quickest way to do it. So really important. And again, why we love absolutely doing our events and our in-person events specifically is because we are bringing together people who are up for growth, who are up for change, who are up to challenge themselves, who want to be the most optimal version of themselves. And that's what we're creating with our events. All right, so homework for today. Homework for today. We're going to set a really practical goal. And the reason for that is because there is so much emotion behind finances. So we're going to do all the things I said. We're going to practice our gratitude. We're going to celebrate money coming in. We're going to understand what our actual money blueprint is. And then we're going to rewire it. You're going to do all of that stuff I spoke about. But first things first, I want you just to set a goal and understand that money is just money. It has no emotion. It has no anything. It's literally just something we need to use to live, and that's okay. It's not good or bad. So we are just going to set a nice practical goal, and we're going to use one of my own frameworks called the GROWS goal model. Now, you might have seen elements of this before, but I've put something all together here to really help go through the process and make it a little more likely to be achieved. So GROWS, GROWS. And we're going to start with the G. Now, the G is the goal itself. So sometimes this is where goal setting frameworks stop. You just set the goal and that's it. But this is the first part of ours. So get clear on the goal. What is a financial goal that you want to achieve? And I want you to be extremely specific. So it could be something like, I want to save, $10,000 by December 31st, 2026. It could be, I want to pay cash. I'm going to Bali in 2 months. I want to pay cash for my flight. It costs, $500. I want to save up the $500. It could be, I'm going to pay down my credit card debt. I'm going to pay off my $10,000 credit card debt by the end of September. The amount needs to be really specific. The time frame needs to be absolutely identified. And, it has to be something that you can measure as well. So how will I know that I've, paid off my credit card debt? Well, my credit card balance will be zero. How will I know that I've paid cash for my Bali flight? Well, I'll see it on my statement that I've transferred the money. How will I know that I've saved, X amount of dollars by December 31st? Well, I'll open my bank account and see it. It has to be something you can see. It can't just be something that it's like a bit of a rule of thumb. So it has to be a specific amount, whether you're reducing debt or saving or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be those. It can be anything you want in the financial space. It has to be very specific, a number, measurable. You have to know how you're going to measure it, and it has to have a time frame. Okay, so that's the goal. So write that down. So stop the recording, write that down. Now, the next part is the reason. Why does this financial goal actually matter to you? And we might have to go a little bit deeper here, right? So what will the money actually give you, or say the lack of debt actually give you? Freedom, security. This is where we get to bring a little bit of a positive emotion in. A little bit of positive emotion in. What will it actually give you? Will you be able to stop working a job you hate? Will you be able to travel? Will you stop having anxiety attacks at 3 a.m.? What exactly will it give you? Opportunities to get into the room with people that you want to be in and get around other people and in different environments? What exactly will it give you? What's the reason? Why does it matter to you? Now, the next part, O, is our obstacles and our opportunities. So this is really interesting because, again, in a lot of goal-setting frameworks, we consider our obstacles. We understand the things that we don't have yet to get started, that we need to acquire in order to start the goal, or the things that are likely to stop us from achieving it. And those are important, right? You want to identify the obstacles 100%. But what I also love to do under O is opportunities. So, for example, if I have like a fitness goal, just stepping outside of finance for a minute. But if I had like a fitness goal, for example, and I was like, well, in order to get my fitness goal, I need a gym membership, I need a personal trainer, this isn't that. I don't have those things. Oh, I'll start next week. With opportunities, I get to go, well, yes, I want to get those things and they're going to help me. But actually, what can I do straight away? Well, I can walk outside on the pavement. There's lots of free running apps. I can look at one of those. I can get a nutrition plan. Even ChatGTP will help me do that. There's things that are available to you to get started straight away that we sometimes don't even look at. Who's a connection that you know, a person that you could reach out to that could help you get started? Um, if you have a debt reduction one, have a conversation with your bank. How can we make this happen? How can I get this reduced? Like, ask the question, can I do anything about this interest rate? So these are opportunities to help you along the way. And then we also want to identify the obstacles. For example, if I have a savings goal, a possible obstacle could be that, my car breaks down, an unexpected expense. So you need to know that up front, because what you want to do is understand how you're going to handle that at the time. What are you going to say to yourself? What are you going to do? What's your backup plan if something like that happens? So understanding your obstacles is really important, but really focus on the opportunities and get started straight away. W is our way forward. This is how we're going to do it. Now, the first thing to do is to reverse engineer your goal. If your goal is, a 3-month goal, break it down into monthly. So if I want to save $10,000 in 3 months, I need to know how much I need to save per month and then per week. So we want to have milestones or mini goals within our big goal for 2 reasons. First of all, it helps us understand if we're going to achieve the goal. So I know if I've got to hit this milestone in month 1, if I don't, then I'm probably not going to hit the big one. Or if I do, I'm on track, right? But also, if it's still feeling good to us, it's like a check-in point. Is this still what I want? Does this still work for me? Have I thought too small or have I thought too big? Am I off track? So there's that whole, we talk about ships, for example. If a ship leaves a port and it is 1 degree, like you can't even see that 1 degree off course, weeks later it'll be like on the other side of the world. It's crazy how much that actually can affect even a small deviation. So what we want to be able to do with our milestones is course correct during the journey, basically. So that's why it's important. So way forward is about the milestone and actually how we're going to achieve it. So if you have a savings goal and that's going to require you to put away into your savings account $300 a week, well, where is that coming from? Does something have to get reduced? Is it a percentage of your wage? Can you set up a direct debit? Like, you need to know how you're going to do it, because you don't want to get to the end of month 1 and you're supposed to have saved $1,000 and you're like, oh, I didn't, because I didn't actually know how to do that. So it's the milestones and then the actual actions, the daily things that you're going to do that are actually going to help you get there. That's your way forward. And S is my favorite of all. It's C. And this, again, is something that's usually missing from goal setting frameworks. And it comes back to the energetics piece, right? So we need to see ourselves as a vibrational match to the thing that we want. It's no good to just wish something and want something, and affirmations all that are good. But, if we want to be somebody that has, $1 million in the bank, that requires a completely different identity and an energetic frequency and emotional tolerance, and certainly financial blueprints. And we have to change that. So seeing is about visualizing. It's about closing your eyes every single chance you get, but at least daily for a few minutes, and seeing yourself as though the goal is here. It's done. So is it opening up your bank account and seeing the amount? Is it that your credit card balance is 0? Is it that you have, you're in Bali by the pool? What is it that is the end result? And accompanying you seeing yourself physically in that place where you've got that thing, emotionally, how does it feel? Is there relief? Is there like a sense of freedom or pride that comes with that? Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. That's why it can make up stories really well. That's why we live in fear so much, because it's like it catastrophizes. So when there's a possibility of something good or bad happening, will always go to the bad, especially if you've had bad experiences in the past. And it won't let you do anything because, you know, it doesn't understand, well, it's actually just as likely to succeed. So everything you do in life, it's just as likely to go good as it is to go bad. But we always see it as like a higher percentage of bad, which is really interesting, right? So when we are seeing ourselves in success, when we are seeing ourselves, our nervous system again feels safe. So when the moment comes to actually physically transfer the money or physically pay off the card, instead of our body going, whoa, this is different, we don't like this, we're unsafe, it goes, no, no, I've seen this before, we're good. So it creates safety. Really important, this part. So visually thinking about what it's like you've already got there and what that looks like emotionally as well. Okie doke. All right. So, there's a whole bunch of financial principles as well. I'm going to put them onto the sheet. Again, I'm not by any means a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but I just wanted to give you a couple of principles around the energetics piece. Things like pay yourself first, know your numbers. You cannot fix what you cannot measure or you don't know. Um, your income ceiling is your blueprint. If you are hitting a ceiling with your income, then that's an energetic change that needs to happen, a belief that needs to change. And it's just a tool. Money is literally just a tool. It's not a measure of your worth or your personal value. It's not a reflection of you as a human. It is a tool like anything else. And it's so powerful when you use it properly. It's there to be used. It wants to be used. So use it with intention. So I'll pop some of those things in the resource as well. But yeah, look, you guys have come so far in the last 4 days. Some of you have been really keeping in touch with me and letting me know how you're going, how you're progressing. Yeah, so excited for you. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what tomorrow's about, but basically we're bringing it all together and can't wait to see you then. Have a good day.